Hello, this is Myra McKnight with Can We Talk, and I am your host today. Of course, we are here always talking about something that's inspiring, practical, and it's relevant for today. And I've been interviewing ladies and having a conversation of this amazing book that's coming out called Women Inspiring Nations. And I have a young lady in the studio with me today, and her name is Miss Donna Izzard. And we are going to have a conversation about her experience in writing the book and how she's able to touch women all over the globe. And as I've been saying before, everybody has a story. The story might not meet with one person or the other, but everybody's story resonates with somebody. And Donna also has a story that will resonate with women across the globe, and we're excited and anxious about hearing that. So Miss Donna Izzard is going to be in the studio on the other side of the break, and I want to thank you again for allowing me to be here in your space today. And we got a whole hour together. We're going to have some fun, and we're going to talk a little bit. Okay? Thank you. I'll be here on the other side.
Source Nation, stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're listening live to Can We Talk by Master Relationship Coach Myra McKnight.
Source Radio Network is just one of the many platforms that is used to fulfill dreams of our listeners and create a purpose that will impact the lives of our communities, cities, and the world. It is often said that great things will happen when a group of driven people work together to accomplish one goal. We're giving people the opportunity to have a voice, translate words that haven't been heard, and paint pictures that no one has seen. Source Radio Network is fueling your life's purpose. How can you listen? www.blogtalkradio.com/Source Radio.
Welcome back, Source Nation. You're listening live to Can We Talk by Master Relationship Coach Myra McKnight.
Hello, everyone in Source Nation family. This is Myra McKnight, your host of Can We Talk, and I am excited about today. You know, this is a new day. God is just giving us so much grace, and there's so many things that are going on in the world, and you really cannot actually you just have to be grateful, because there's a lot of things you just can't do nothing about. You want to do something about it, but it goes back to that you only handle what you can. And if you can't, leave it to somebody else or somebody else's job. And I say this a lot to women that I work with, is that everything is not your job to do. It is not your job to help everybody. It's not your job to save the world, because you know what? You can't do it. God will put those people in your space for you to help, and then you go give them everything that God has given you. And I'm saying this too because I have another interview of the ladies. I'm still interviewing these wonderful, amazing ladies that have written a chapter and co-authored a book, Women Inspiring Nations. And these ladies are taking a chapter and they're putting in as much as they possibly can in this chapter to inspire women all over the country. And this right here, that's the thing about writing a book, because you're able to reach the masses. If you want to help a lot of people, you got to write a book. I've probably got 10 of them in my computer right about now that I kind of need to pull out into and to have published. But those are ways of helping the next person. Those are the ways of helping women. And as you know, this show is about practicality. It's about realness. You guys know I don't sugarcoat it. I'm past that. I'm not trying to prove anything. It's just life is real. Life is just real, and I think that we have to be real in it. And do you have to tell your business away to everybody? No, you don't. I say to the ladies, if you don't have nobody to tell it, tell to God. If you don't feel like telling to God, tell it to a tree. Tell it to something and not someone. Unless you're ready, unless you're ready for your story to be out, keep it to yourself until you perfect that story. Because sometimes you want to say something and God is not through with the story yet. There's some more parts to it. So you need to be able to perfect it to move it to the next level. So, I want you to be able to be practical, to be able to be real, not to beat yourself up. Yes, you have made mistakes, and yes, you are going to continue to make them as long as we're on this earth. But the thing is that I promised myself is, let me learn from the mistake I just made, and let me ask God to show me how I don't make it again, because I promise you, if you don't pass that test, the mistake will come back to you, and you will have to do it again. So let me get a new mistake to make. Don't let me keep repeating the old crazy mistakes over and over again. That's what gives you gray hairs, ladies, and worse of that, too. So I am glad that you allowed me to come into your space today, because you could be doing something else. But you allow me to come in your space, and we're going to do what we do. We're going to enjoy each other, and we're going to learn, and we're going to listen. And the lady's name that is into the studio today is Donna Izzard. And again, she is one of the amazing co-authors of the book, Women Inspiring Nations. And that is something that we really want to hear about. So before I do that, let me introduce our sponsors, because without them, we would not be able to have this amazing conversation with Donna. And they are Zelina Health, Wellness, and Fitness, Paper 2 Film Productions, Revolution Mills, Ren Ovations, Meet My Type Matchmaking, Blend to Blend Juice Bar Boutique, Urban Grandstand Digital, and New Covenant of Praise Worship Center. We thank our amazing sponsors for allowing us this opportunity to be on this platform. And without further ado, I am going to introduce my amazing guest here in the studio with me, and that's Miss Donna Izzard. Hello, Donna. How are you?
I am absolutely amazing. How are you?
I'm doing well, and I love amazing. I'm telling you, I love it. I love it. I am glad that you that you did accept our invitation to come on into the studio to talk about your contribution to the amazing book that you are a part of, Women Inspiring Nations. So I'm learning as the ladies on the platform out here in the radio land. I am learning as they learn. So tell us a little bit, Donna. Tell us about you and what inspired you to become an author in parts of this book here.
Okay, well, I'm a mom. I'm a G-mommy. I am a professional training development. That's my profession. And I love to inspire and empower women. I'm a minister. I'm a CEO. And what I call myself is a CEOpreneur, because I intentionally decided to build my empire while I continue to work with a solid investor, a.k.a. my job.
Okay, right.
That's
absolutely.
And I was just, when I saw, the opportunity to write about, Women Inspiring Nations, I jumped right on it. I thought it was something that the title itself just drew me in, and I was like, okay, that sounds like me. I can surely do that. And so I went for the opportunity, and I'm just so excited to be a part of this amazing and awesome opportunity, because I do believe that iron sharpens iron, and I do know that so many of us as women, we need to be inspired, from other women, and to hear other women's stories. And that's what we are here to do, is to be able to create the testimony for others so that they can do what God has called them to do.
And that's amazing. And that's you're absolutely right. Iron sharpens irons. And tell us a little bit about I know you can't tell us a lot about the chapter that you wrote in the book, but give us a little bit of synopsis of what it's about, just a little bit, so we can kind of get so our audience can kind of glean a little bit, because I'm quite sure I've had several women on that as soon as the book comes out in January are going to be purchasing that book just to hear all the different inspiring stories of women from all walks of life, which I think is amazing.
Yes, I agree. So I can share, my title, and my title is Created by the Creator to Inspire. And my chapter focuses on actually my childhood growing up in Harlem, and I say Harlem, USA. Not Harlem, New York, but Harlem, USA. And I talk about, my experiences growing up and the sense of Harlem, and what growing up in Harlem meant to me, and how I was inspired by the scent of Harlem and what and growing up in Harlem and just the opportunities that I had that, so many people, would look at, a place like Harlem, as so many urban areas, years ago that, it's a place that you don't really want to go to, but I believe that God created jewels everywhere, and I am one of those jewels that came out of Harlem. So I talk about my story, my chapter.
Okay. And tell me a little bit as to why, Donna, why do you think that would be a story that will benefit the women of the nations?
Because so many times we as women from different walks of life, we judge books by their covers. And sometimes we put on women, that's where you come from, then maybe, nothing really good comes from a place like Harlem, or comes from other urban areas. And so I wanted to share in my chapter that although there were some daunting experiences growing up, however, it did not shape me. It did not mold me. What molded me was the sense of an environment that allowed me to blossom, allowed me to grow, and how we could really just, look at people without looking at the environment where they come from and putting on those women, that they are not worthy or valuable enough to be able to amount to something really spectacular.
Okay. I think that's pretty interesting. I never thought of Harlem like that. I come from the Midwest, but I always was pretty intrigued with Harlem. I even say today, man, that was an amazing place to grow up in New York. I have people that are from Harlem or from Brooklyn or, and they'll shout out where they're from, and they're proud of that.
Yeah.
And I just think that New York itself is just such a blended city, and it has so many different facets of it. And people that come from, whether it's Harlem, the Bronx, or what part, Manhattan, they are terribly unique. And it really is a special kind of place. And I guess, I don't know, the growing up part, but even in Hollywood, you have the movies about Harlem, and just listening to, I kind of try to get a little used to this movie now that Spike Lee has on Netflix, which is She's Gotta Have It. That was something he did years and years ago, but now he's rebirthed that as a series. And it depicts those parts of the Bronx and New York and things of that nature. But I think that would be a really interesting chapter to read. And it sounds like what you're saying is, however you see Harlem, you have to see it for the bigness of what it is, and even the people that come out of Harlem. That there's more to them than just what you might see on the movie screen or what you might hear in the newspapers. And that's indicative of a lot of different places in America when it comes to people of color.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that would be definitely not only a geography education, but, serious education for people to, especially on the other side of the country or on the other side of the world, to be able to hear about somebody from Harlem and the things that they inspire to do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like the movie, I have family members who are not, from New York. They're from the South, different areas. And when they would see the movie, like something that happened, like an American Gangster, they're like, oh, my God, all those things happen in Harlem. And, so it's like it's depicted as, a place that, just so much crime and, and so I wanted to paint a different picture of Harlem, the environment that I love so much.
Right. And that's an amazing place to be. So when you decided to do that, how long has it been and you wanted to reveal that part, Donna?
So you want to say, Harlem has changed tremendously, right? Now, so it's really diverse now, whereas years ago when I grew up, it was not. It was predominantly, African-American or Caribbean families, as well as Hispanic families, but now it's truly diversified. So the area during the time that I'm talking about at least spans like over 20 years ago, so. but it has changed dramatically. It has changed dramatically. But I wanted to, really showcase that it was a place that has its own scent, its own swag, and certainly its own flavor.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people pick up, and not just people of color, actually people outside of that, pick up fashions and just ways from areas like in New York and Harlem and those different places. From what I see, it's a place of I am who I am and not ashamed of who I am. Just that kind of vibe that it has is something that people can just really feel when they're in the area. They're feeling, like you said, it's got its own swag. It has its own, because you can go to some other cities and even African-American cities that they don't have a swag,
right.
Actually. They really don't. I mean, even like,
right.
They just don't have one. It's either like you in the house, you out the house. It's crime here and crime there. But there's no kind of vibe. Just pronounce who I am. I am this person. I am this way in a good manner. You can see the bad in every community, especially the urban communities, but to have someone in the urban communities that's actually pushing for the good and still in the urban communities is a big deal. And people are coming into your community rather than you leaving out of the community. And that's a big deal as well. So so you're expecting people to get from the chapter that you're writing is that there's more to it than just what you see, basically.
Exactly.
Okay. And do you put a little bit of your business in there as what you do as a CEO? Do you put a little bit of that in there as well?
Yes, I share, what I do in my career as well as what I do in my business, and so which has a huge impact from growing up in Harlem. Okay. So I share those things, and I'm very excited about it, to share what Harlem has birthed in me.
Okay. And so can you share a little bit about what you do?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Okay.
So my profession, I'm actually the only African-American in New York City in the legal industry that holds the title of Training Development Director. So that's a huge accomplishment, I believe. Mm-hmm. And I'm really proud of that. And as far as my businesses go, I have a cupcake and cake online business, the Traveling Cupcake. Starts with prayer and travels with love. And I do that. And I also have an online training and coaching business for women of faith. Okay. And so
good.
That's what I do.
Okay. So this falls right into what you're doing. Now, your training and development, that's basically for businesses that you do, or schools, or how does that come about in the training and development?
Okay, training development is some technology training development. So I develop programs for support staff in the legal industry. In my profession. And in terms of my business, I develop training and development programs for women to take their gifts and to take their skills and monetize into a business.
Okay, awesome. And that's so well needed. It is so many women that are pushing in the vein of entrepreneurship, business women, and it's a wonderful place to be, definitely a wonderful place to be. I worked in the legal field for some time and at the Capitol, and I worked there as I started part-time in my business and what I do, Better One, Better Two Relationship Academy, where I'm the CEO, and what I've done for the last 13 years is help people to build relationships and understand how they're built. And I did that for part-time as I worked still at the law firms. And then I moved out of that and started doing it full-time and helping women to understand that they can come off the job. It's about timing. It really is.
Strategy,
You got to have a plan, ladies. You got to have a plan. Some people might have, and some people are pushed. Some people don't have a plan. You're pushed out there to do it, and you got to do it. But it's best to have a plan, a strategy of how you're going to get this done if this is something that you really want to do. And some of the things that I say to ladies when they're doing that is that you have to be committed and you have to get up when the clock shouldn't have to tell you to get up, and you shouldn't have to rip, run, and rush. Those things that you have to do, and you have to put forth those efforts, but you got to be committed to sitting at that computer or making those phone calls or doing those networkings or what you need to do to make it happen for you. So it's a wonderful thing to be able to have your own. Because, Donna, I remember I was telling one of my mentees that, back in biblical days, they had no corporations.
Exactly.
They hadn't. I don't know why we're stuck on the corporation, but I guess because it's consistent with pay. But they had no corporations. Families had businesses, and they learned whether it was tie-dye, whether it was, a shoemaker, or whether it was a material processor, or whatever it was. They made the jobs that they had, actually the business they had. They made them. They created those things. And I say a lot to ladies: if it's not out there, go on and create it. Create a job for yourself. Even if nobody's hiring you, you can create it, because you've gone from, training development to obviously something you love, the cupcake industry,
Exactly. You're absolutely correct. I always tell people, this is my life mantra. I was created by the Creator to be creative. We are created to be creative. It's in our DNA. Yeah. It's in our DNA. And even if you are working in corporate America or just working on a job, get creative about the job that you're working in, and that's what we have to do, is be creative about our next.
Right. You have to do that. I think I posted on my Facebook the other day, I just got this, I just believe that we have an opportunity to do what's best for us and be creative at the same time and grow at the same time. And I was talking about retirement, and, they keep pushing the retirement up, and up. And I asked the ladies, how many of you want to follow that retirement module, to work until you're 65, to work until you're 70. And sometimes it's just kind of far-fetched for people to believe that you can retire at 50. If you're 20-something years old, or you can retire at 55. Actually, you can retire when you choose to, if you have a plan. And if you have a strategy, those are some things that you can do, and prepare for your next life, whatever that might be. You might want to become an airplane pilot or something like that. But like you were saying, being creative, Donna, there is opportunities everywhere for you to be creative. The millennials today are not looking for corporate jobs. I was reading Wall Street. They're not looking for corporate jobs. They're looking for farms. They're starting to farm. And they're looking at the fact that what they can make money in the farming industry, because now we're going organic. We're going, we're doing something different. And so there's all kind of opportunities. If it's not there and if God is giving it to you, you can make that happen. And I just believe that.
I'm in agreement with you. I am full agreement with you.
Yeah, we have so many opportunities out here. And I used to think, as a young woman, and if I couldn't find a job, I'd look at my own resume and ask myself, would I hire you? And if I would hire my own resume for me, then I figure, okay, and then I'll just do that. And like you just said, be creative on the job. I would go to a job and I would say, I'm going to be the best. Whatever you're doing, I can do it. I might do it on a smaller scale, but I can do it. So knowledge is power. And all the things that you're doing, Donna, you will always be able to take care of you.
That's the plan.
And that's important.
Multiple money streams. That is the
absolutely, plan. Absolutely. The more you do that you're making money that's income producing, the better off. And we need that where we are in our life and what are. We have multiple streams of income, because once the kids are gone, who was that, Donna, that was Ruth in the Bible, who had lost her husbands and she had lost her husbands. It was Ruth, and she said, there was nowhere she could go because her daughter-in-laws didn't want her, so she was out there on her own. And there's a lot of, it wasn't Ruth that did it, it was Naomi. That's what it was. And there's a lot of Naomi's out there for themselves who have gone past the age of having children. They're in their 50s and 40s and 60s, and they are living in because they have no money. They can't go live with their sons or their daughters and things of that nature, having to live in places that are undesirable.
Yes, and that's why you have to set ourselves up. We have to set ourselves up.
Absolutely. And like I said, and you have to, if you only have one stream of income, because you need more than one income, especially if you're working in corporate America and you're depending on corporate America to pay you. Things are changing. We have to have something for ourselves.
Yeah, things are changing and things have changed. Okay?
Absolutely.
You can't sit back and wait, depending upon the age you are. If you are working in corporate America, you can't sit back and wait for them to tell you that the door is closing.
Absolutely.
You have to make sure that you are prepared, that you have multiple streams, and while you continue to work for them, that you are building your legacy. You are building your empire.
Absolutely. You work the job, and what they'll do is they fund your dreams. The job funds your dreams. The job funds your projects for your business. And that's what my job did for me. I got paid twice a month, and it helped me pay my office on my business. It helped me buy my supplies. It helped me build. And then, Donna, it was a lot easier for me to go to that job then because it was doing something for me because I knew I was not long for it. And I never forget, I was so glad I was going to go to my husband's reunion. And I went to my manager and I said, well, I want to take off this particular day because I need to, we're having our reunion. And so he says, well, I'm not letting anybody off on that because that's closing and something else he said. And I was just kind of stunned. And I said, well, this is my husband's reunion. He says, well, I have to let you know. Now, that didn't go over well, Donna, at all. It just didn't go well. It just didn't go well with me. And I just are you serious? And I came home and I told my husband, and my husband was just kind of like, I'll just take off, But it was just a principle of the whole thing.
Yes.
And I didn't say anything else about it, but that was the thing that kicked me into gear. Because I've been telling my husband I was going to quit anyway. And I said, okay. So it was actually matter of fact, I was supposed to go in June 29th was the reunion. But I had given my 2 weeks notice right before that time. So I wasn't there anyway on June 29th. And he was shocked that I had actually quit. But it was just the fact that he helped me make my decision because I had something going on. I had my radio show, and I had my business, and I had my clientele. And I was really, God was like, it's time to move on. And I was just trying to hold on to the money, and it was consistent. And I didn't have to hear my husband's mouth because he's worried about the money. And so I said, I'm out. I'm done. And actually, Donna, I had 2 or 3 job offers in the midst of those 2 weeks. And something pulled me, was like, oh, you think I'll take that job offer you just got from this other firm? And I didn't do it afterwards, but I turned 2 job offers down because I felt so good that I was moving into my own space and my own, doing my own thing. And again, everybody's story is different, comes down to it. But mine was, it kind of pushed me to an edge. But it was a blessing. It was something that I needed to do.
Yeah, it was God that closed the door at that time.
Absolutely.
That was the time. That's the way you have to look at it. The solid investor served this purpose. It served this purpose by helping establish you, setting yourself up. But when it's time, it's time. And God just closed that door by using your boss to tell you, no, he planted the seed. And that's all, and you just watered it by leaving.
Well, honey, he planted that seed, and he just didn't know. I am not the one you talking to, man, at all. So I started rooting up some whole bunch of stuff that was coming up in my head that I wanted to tell that man. But you know what? I said, you know what? I got one better for you. And I knew the job that I had was a job that was pretty weighty. But I felt good in making that decision. I felt good of walking out of there. It was a good feeling. So, again, everybody's story is different, but when you have talent, and such as the ones that you have, Donna, where you're doing the things that you're doing and trying to and making a difference, and coming from where you come from, where people look at it as if there wasn't a difference, you're kind of giving people the fodder that they need to grow and move on and move past some things, because we can stay stuck as women.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we can stay stuck. And we can stay victims. We can stay in the victimhood ministry, for real. For real. And can't help me and those kind of things. And, when you're working on you, you don't have time to be a victim because you're busy moving and growing. And just like you said, you saw that opportunity. It came right to you. And it came to you because, like you just told me, there were so many people you needed to bless in your words and in what you're doing. And it came to you for that reason. And that's a blessing.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a blessing. Well, Donna, tell our listening audience they're going to get your book. Book comes out in January, and they'll get to read your chapter in the book. And all the other things you're doing, like your coaching and your cupcakes, how can they go online and check some of that out?
Okay, so as a minister, I have a prayer group on Facebook called the CEO Prayer Closet, and that's for aspiring and emerging entrepreneurs and CEOs and entrepreneurs. And you can join us. We do every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're praying and encouraging one another, and that's the CEO Prayer Closet. Also, you can visit the CEOprayercloset.com is the website, and then my website, which is DonnaIzzard.com. That's where my training programs are at, and it's also where I have a free ebook about identity. As a minister, as a woman of faith, I really purposely and intentionally teach women about reclaiming their identity. I'm a firm believer of that. And so that's what I do. And then if you want to look at of this view and what we have to offer, and the cupcake and cake, thetravelingcupcake.com. That's thetravelingcupcake.com. And that's also on Facebook and Instagram. And we do cupcakes and cakes, and we ship great pound cakes and coconut dream cakes and red velvet and sweet potato cupcakes. So I'm excited. That's my great-great-grandmother's recipe from North Carolina. Okay. So I'm excited about all the things that God has put before me. And so I'm just doing what God has called me to do. And so please, I would love to hear from anyone from your show. Please feel free to visit me on those websites or in the Facebook group.
Okay, amazing. That is a blessing. Ladies, you got all that down. I mean, we try to give you information, practical information, inspiring information. There's so many people that God has placed in this universe that are doing some amazing things, and every person doesn't fit every person. But I promise you, somebody fits you. And you have to reach out, step up and reach out to be a better person and want to do something better. So the prayer line and the cupcakes and the coaching and things of that nature, Donna, are some amazing projects that you are doing. And I know that there are some amazing women out there that just need that little push. And I'm loving the prayer lines people are doing. And the reason I like that is because there was a time in my day we didn't have that, to where you had a small circle or a larger circle or a circle of your kind that you can do that. And Facebook and those places are able to connect with people all over the world, and that makes a big difference too. You meet so many new people just through the social media platform.
Yes, it's an amazing platform, and that's free. So, I mean, I tell people all the time, free marketing? What? No, this you got to utilize it to your advantage.
You do. You have to utilize it to your advantage, and that's an amazing thing. And, Donna, I tell you, I appreciate you taking up some of your time of all the things that you do and coming in and to the studio and talking with me about your upcoming book that you're authoring with some other amazing ladies and Women Inspiring Nations. And I encourage the ladies to look out, to pick this book up. And Donna is a part of that book. She's one of the amazing ladies, and hope that it will inspire you for a long time and ignite you, too, to do something different in your life that you're looking to do. So, Donna, all blessings to you, and congratulations on your book. And when you do that and you write your next book, give us a call. I'd definitely love to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm really excited about it. And I'm just thankful that you opened up your platform and shared your platform with me today and the other authors of Women Inspiring Nations.
Absolutely. It was my pleasure, definitely my pleasure. This 218, that's number 8, New Beginnings. So we're all looking forward to come. We're all looking forward. So it's a total blessing for us all, and we wish you all the best. And thank you again.
Thank you. Great
Okay,
day.
bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, there we go. Source Nation family, this is Myra McKnight with Can We Talk? And that was practical, open conversation with another author of the Women Inspiring Nations. And she has one of the chapters in the book. Inspiration is what we like to give on this show, to inspire you to be better, inspire you to get up, inspire you to move, to groove, to find your way. And something that we said through the conversation, which is so very important, and I want to reiterate that, is that if you only have one stream of income, then you are doing yourself a disservice. Ladies, don't do that. Please find another stream of income. Do not just depend on the job. I don't care how good your job is. Find another stream of income. There are many things that as women today that things change, and we have to begin to change with them. So we don't want to be left out in the cold, ladies. You don't want to be a Naomi. You don't want to be one of those where everybody around you is gone and you're left by yourself, and you have to fend for yourself. There are 7 different components, and that's another life of mine, that we'll talk about at some point, and I'll do a webinar on that, about what you're going to need if you're 18 or if you're 89. If you're living by yourself and you're an older woman, you're a mature woman, there's some things that you need to do to safeguard yourself. And it's not that you need a man. Some might need that. But you want to be in a position to where you can take care of yourself, and that's so important. So I want to thank you for allowing me to be in your space today. Today is another day, and we're grateful. We're thankful for it. And we got the new year, the number 8, new beginnings. What is your new beginning? What are you going to do? What are you going to promise yourself? Don't do the same thing you did last year and still don't get it done. Try something new. Maybe it's not time for that other thing. So try something new. Ladies, you're amazing. You're wonderful. You're beautiful. And this is Myra McKnight with Can We Talk? And we'll talk again on next Friday. Make it a fantastic year. Blessings. Bye-bye.
Get at me for beats, y'all.